Just seeing them grow from the start, confidence growing and their techniques improving, would never ever take him somewhere else because he is just perfect.
I have 2 girls at AFAC, and we've been coming since it started at the beginning of 2019. They feel safe, and I think they feel encouraged as well.
I like my teachers, and they always encourage me when I need encouraging, and they make it really fun for me and the rest of my class. I feel very proud and happy and excited to meet my new teacher.
Noah finds motor planning and things like that difficult. You know, he tends to get that same teacher, so they definitely know what works for Noah, what to kind of keep going with, how we can kind of achieve the next thing. So it's really quite consistent and valuable.
It's really good, nice quality time spent with the grandies, and it's a great centre for families as well. She may have got a lot older, but never miss out on the green jelly after the swimming lesson, so that's always a given.
I wouldn't be driving 25 minutes past 2 swim schools to come if I didn't enjoy it.
The kids just enjoy it too much here and love all the teachers, so why move them somewhere else?
Would you please be upstanding for Her Worship, Mayor Ruth Butterfield.
Welcome everybody. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we meet on the lands of the Whadjuk Noongar people and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. I declare the meeting open at 7:01 p.m. and we'll move now to record of attendance, apologies and leave of absence. Well, we have a previously granted leave of absence for Councillor Dan Newman, who is not here. We do have one for Councillor Amit Singh, but he's returned early and we couldn't keep him away from tonight. So thank you for joining us. And we have a full complement of councillors tonight and executive directors and CEO to help us with tonight. So thank you for being here. Advice of response to previous public questions taken on notice are in the minutes for everyone to read, and they've been provided, obviously, in writing to the people who asked them. So we'll move now to public question time, and I will ask if there are any questions from members of the public this evening. And if there is, would you like to come forward to the microphone, give your name, and your suburb, please.
Good evening, councillors. My name is Stephen Wee. I own the lot. I'm the owner for the 8 Waigonda Road. I just give you a little bit of the history of the 8 Waigonda. I bought the building back in 2005. I got no question. I just telling a little bit of things of the property. Is that okay?
Sorry, no, this is question time. So if you'd like to ask a question of councillors, now is the appropriate time to do that.
Okay, I just give a bit of history of
you could just briefly, you could phrase it as in, are councillors aware? But we really can't have too much too much statements, but you can ask whether councillors are aware of some of the background if you'd like.
I hope you're aware of the property is vacant for 2.5 years now, nearly 3. So I'm just trying to clear it once and for all. But I think there's a lot of, I'm a part of the community. I've been giving support to the country club people who wants to overflows into my car park and they use it. So parking is not a problem for them to come in.
Okay, so I'm just going to stop you there because you're sort of giving reasons for that might contribute to the decision tonight. So I think that if you could phrase whatever you're going to suggest to tell us, that could you phrase it as a question in some way, and that way you will get around. So you could ask, are councillors aware that?
I hope the councillors are aware that they have done everything. I hope they can see the church have done all your requests. I hope you can do everything that, I don't have much question, but just a history of what is presented to you guys. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any further questions from members of the public?
Yeah, g'day. G'day, my name's Alan from Stratton, visiting your shire today. These are questions about Declan. Given it is limited to $40,000 in damages for the city of Armidale, with the promise not to spend money that is more than this, on legal expenses for the upcoming SAT proceedings. Sorry. Did you understand it? I'll say it again if you want.
I'm sorry. Yes, if you could say it again. Sorry.
So, given Declan is limited to $40,000 in damages for the city from the city of Armidale, will the city promise not to spend that money on this legal More than this. More than this, sorry. More than this illegal on the legal expenses for the upcoming SAT proceedings.
Sorry, I don't know of any upcoming SAT proceedings.
Okay.
So I will have to ask the CEO if she knows anything about what you're talking about.
Okay.
I would recommend we take the question on notice, Mayor.
Okay.
Thank you.
I've got a couple of questions. I'll try and make them. How much does it cost to operate the Armadale Library on a normal Saturday? Please provide the staff costs, including overhead and rent of the building itself.
I'm going to have to take that on notice as well.
Okay. If what Declan Manfield is saying is found to be true in any way, will the city apologise?
I'll take that on notice.
Okay. I have a
Thank
feeling
you.
that might be, I think there's two more questions I'm going to say. Was the closure of the Armadale Library on Saturday the 8th of November the first time the library or council office has closed due to has been closed due to public meetings being held in different locations?
Sorry, I'll take that on notice.
All right. And the last
Sorry, I've just realised what you're talking about, and
yeah.
as you know, I think it's been explained that it's not appropriate for us to comment at this time because there are legal proceedings.
We do understand that. We still have to submit the questions the correct way. So
Do you have to?
well, it's nice to do it that way. We will.
Thank you.
This is the last one from me. Lord Mayor, does the council fully support the CEO's decision to close the library on the 8th of November? Further, will any internal reviews or disciplinary actions be undertaken in response to this unprecedented event? I mean, on the day we did see people that had booked the library for that day, so that's why I'm fascinated with that question, believe it or not.
Thank you. I'll take it on notice.
All right, thank you very much. That's the last question from me.
Are there any further questions from members of the public?
Yes, there are, Lord Mayor. My name is Stuart Chapman, and I live in the suburb of Mount Claremont. A poster in the council workplace stated, "Don't be trash," followed by an acronym for trash: transphobic, racist, ableist, sexist, homophobic. This poster was reportedly displayed for several months. Is it appropriate for such value-laden or politically charged posters to be displayed in a council workplace, and what policies govern this?
Thank you very much for your question, Stuart. I'll take it on notice.
The Free Speech Union organised a rally on the 8th of November in support of former library officer Declan Mansfield, for which I was the local organiser. On what basis did the CEO determine that a protest organised by the Free Speech Union could possibly be dangerous or intimidating for library staff?
Thank you for your question. I'll take it on notice.
Surprise. Was the 8th of November rally observed by council officers or representatives?
Thank you. I'll take it on notice.
If so, what conclusions were reached regarding the rally's conduct? Was it assessed as unruly, disruptive, disrespectful, or in any way potential concern for library staff? And if so, on what grounds?
I'm sorry, I'll have to take it on notice.
Surprise. Question.
You can't possibly expect me to have answers to those questions. You cannot possibly expect me to have answers about whether your rally was observed or not by staff. How am I to get those answers?
Well, I assume that there were security staff around on the day, and you closed the library because of the potential conflict that might have...
So you're making... Sorry, I'm going to keep you to questions, but you're making assumptions and you're being rude to me in return by suggesting that I should be able to answer questions about what happened on a weekend. So I'm sorry, I'll have to take it on notice.
All right. Will the city organise a confidential independent survey to see if there is bullying in Armidale Library and commit to publishing the results?
Thank you, I'll have to take it on notice.
It was said in response to a previous question concerning concealment of books that when concerns were raised with the manager library services, immediate action was taken to directly counsel library staff members regarding their responsibilities in line with the earlier statement on free access to information. Does the council regard hiding Helen Joyce's book in the manner shown in Declan's video, freespeechunion.au support Declan, as misconduct?
I'll have to take your question on notice.
And why did the council not take disciplinary action against those responsible? Is it because the council could not identify them or they decided not to?
Thank you for your question, Stuart. I'll have to take it on notice.
It was said in response to a previous question that staff and volunteers are required to comply with the city's code of conduct and legislative requirements related to discrimination, bullying or harassment. Respectfully, I believe this question was not a full answer to the question. Does the council agree? Please answer response yes or no. It is misconduct to penalise anyone for gender-critical views in the workplace.
Thank you, Stuart. I'll have to take your question on notice.
Is it misconduct to penalise someone for writing in The Spectator?
Thank you. I'll have to take it on notice.
Was it misconduct to penalise Mr Mansfield for his particular writings in The Spectator, if this is what happened?
Thank you. I'll take your question on notice.
It was said in response to a previous question that the city provides training commensurate with its legislative responsibilities. Does the city accept that providing training based on DEI ideology rather than bona fide anti-discrimination law is incompatible with those legal responsibilities?
Thank you. I'll take it on notice.
Can the council please publish the materials it has in respect of protecting viewpoint diversity?
Turned myself off there accidentally. Thank you, Stuart. I'll take your question on notice.
Thank you. It was said in response to a question that the Armidale Library was closed to ensure the work, health and safety of staff. On what information did the CEO conclude that there was a risk?
I'll take it on notice.
What specifically were the health and safety risks identified?
Thank you. I'll take your question on notice.
Were they purely psychosocial in nature?
Councillor Willinga.
I'm sorry, there might be other residents here. We have quite a lot on the agenda. Would it be okay if we came back to this resident and their questions and allow other residents to possibly ask their questions before we finish question time?
Thank you. Good point, Councillor Willinga. I will ask if there are any further questions from other members of the assembled members. Are there any further questions? If not, we have 1 minute left of question time.
I've got 3 minutes left. All right.
I'm sorry. Is there a code of conduct of behaviour that we're meant to be adhering to?
Yes, there is. Thank you. Stuart?
Okay. Who informed the CEO of the alleged risk? And was Gareth Dixon involved in that decision? Has the city reported this matter to the Public Sector Commission, and does the CEO commit to publishing all relevant records and being completely transparent about what happened regarding the closure of the library?
Thank you, Stuart. I will take your question on notice.
This will be my final question, you'll be glad to know that. Given that the council must have known the reason for the library's closure prior to last council's meeting, why was the question taken on notice rather than answered on the night?
Thank you. I'll take that on notice.
Thank you.
And public question time is over. Thank you very much. Everybody, we will move on with the meeting now. And we have next applications for leave of absence. We do have one request for leave of absence from Councillor Peter for the period of Saturday the 29th of November to, 2025 to Monday the 12th of January 2026 inclusive. Could I have someone move that grant of leave of absence be approved? Councillor Willinga, thank you. Is there anyone opposed? No one opposed, thank you, that's carried. Petitions. I believe we do have a petition for presentation tonight. Councillor Peter.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. I have a petition with the 21 signature on it. And the petition will read, we, the undersigned residents of Starker Close, Lanham Road, Hilbert, respectfully request the City of Armadale urgent intervention regarding the ongoing and severe dust and wind flow sand pollution originating from the Stockland development being carried out by WAM Civil. We seek an intervention to the complaints with breaches and fair compensation for the affected residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Peter is submitting that petition. So, Councillor Peter, you'll move receipt of that petition? Thank you. Is there anyone opposed? No one opposed. Thank you. That's carried. Confirmation of minutes. Could I ask that someone move confirmation of the minutes at the back of this agenda as a true and correct record? Thank you, Councillor Stoneham. Is there anyone opposed? No one opposed. Thank you. That's carried. Announcements by the person presiding without discussion. I've got a fairly lengthy list of things I've been up to, and they're on your table, councillors. But I would just like to note some good news that came through last Friday after a meeting between Alcoa and the city. And some of you may have heard already that Alcoa has decided not to push ahead with their bauxite exploration plans in the Perth Hills due to stakeholder and local community input. So I thank you all for your support of the officers making that submission too, and we were not alone. There were several local governments who also made submissions against that further exploration and the potential impacts of future mining around the Canning Dam and the Mundaring Weir. Here we go. Alcoa has stated that they heard some very strong concerns coming out of those community consultations, and they decided that they've acted in response to that, so yeah, look, I'm sure that we can take that as a community win, because we weren't alone. Our community were very concerned about the impact of exploratory drilling and then the open cut mines that might have sprung up around Perth's drinking water catchment area of Canning Dam and the Mundaring Weir. So great win for our community, and thank you to the CEO and our staff for writing a fantastic submission. But as I say, we were not alone in that push. So with that, I will move on to questions by members, of which due notice has been given without discussion, and there isn't any on tonight's meeting. Reports, Development Services Committee meeting. Chair, are you prepared to move receipt of those minutes?
Subject to any corrections, of which I have none. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Willinga has moved receipt of those minutes. Councillor Mosey, you're on your feet.
Yes, I am, because I do have a correction. I was an apology, but I'm not listed as an apology. I did come along as an observer, but I was officially an apology, unable to vote because I was only on Teams.
Thank you. We'll get that sorted out. So with that change, do we have anyone opposed? If no one's opposed, thank you, that's carried. If we move now into the agenda proper, we've got page 13 and 1.1, structure plan recommendation to WAPC, Canning River and Clifton Street North, Precinct, Kelmscott. Dr. Wallinga, you're on your feet.
Two small changes I'd like to move for the recommendation, just to make some further clarifications. They're on the screen. There was two lot 11s, so we're just trying to demonstrate which lot 11 we're talking about. And there was also 2 structure plans in the report, so putting the date of the structure plan that we're referring to in the recommendation.
Great, thank you. So, Councillor Wallinga, Dr. Wallinga, you're moving those 2 additions and moving the report itself?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Is there anyone opposed? No one opposed. Thank you. That's carried. If we move on now to 1.2, development application, place of worship, 8 Waigonda Road, Roleystone. And Councillor Stoneham, you're on your feet.
Yes, can I move that we go behind closed doors, please, as I would like to be able to discuss freely any legal implications to any decisions we will make this evening.
Thank you. Councillor Stoneham has moved that we go behind closed doors to discuss the implications, the legal implications of any decision we might make tonight. Is there anyone opposed to us going behind closed doors? If no one is opposed, thank you. That's Councillor Wallinga.
Can I ask a question? We're going behind closed doors just to discuss the report.
No. We are going to go behind closed doors to discuss the legal ramifications of some of the questions that at least Councillor Stoneham has.
And then come out
and then we will come out of closed...
And then discuss the report.
Yes. Do we have anyone opposed to moving behind closed doors? If no one's opposed, thank you. That's carried. Members of the public, we are going behind closed doors to discuss a legal matter. So we will ask you to leave now, but you may return when we have finished discussing that legal matter, and we will then continue our discussion and debate. Thank you, councillors. I'll just let you know that the live streaming has recommenced. Thank you, members of the public, for your forbearance while we had a discussion on some legal matters. And we'll start this again. So page 48, 1.2, development application, place of worship, 8 Wygonda Road, Rolly Stone.
Yeah. Madam Mayor, I'm happy to move that motion that's presented in front of us.
Thank you. Councillor Busby has moved the motion, which comes on page 61, begins on 61 and goes all the way to 65. So Councillor Busby has moved. Is there anyone opposed? Councillor Stoneham is opposed. Could I have a seconder? Anyone to second the motion? Thank you, Councillor Willinga. Councillor Busby, would you like to speak to the item?
Yeah, Madam Mayor, this is always, these sorts of developments have always been challenging for us as a council because there are feelings, emotions. We do have an echo here today, don't we? We have subjectiveness, objectiveness, and I think our office has done an exceptional job on this, and the recommendation has really covered everything really well. All the issues that were presented have been covered. We've got so many points there to actually protect us and help us get the best out of that amenity. I remember many, many years ago, I wish I'd got more information, but we had the same sort of situation out in Churchman's Brook, I think it was, where the church wanting to be there, and almost the same situation was presented to us. It's going to be too noisy, there's going to be too many cars, it's going to affect the bush. It's going to affect the neighbours. That was quite a few years ago. That went ahead. I believe it's been operating for quite a long time now, and I don't remember any complaints ever coming through the council, because of what we put out there. And we use the same complaints that it's not the right amenity, it's special rural, it's special residential, it's, we shouldn't be doing that, and we did, and it's worked just fine. And I don't think as a council we really are in a place to be saying no to stuff or yes to stuff out of emotions or subjectiveness. We need to actually make sure we've dotted the I's, crossed the T's, and I think our officers have done a great job on that. And that's my reason for supporting this, because it ticks all of the development boxes that we as a council need to be doing, and not getting drawn into the emotions and disappointments or frustrations that our residents have, or some residents have, that we don't want that there, and we might have put a bar there and we don't want that there, and might have been another service station. They seem to be coming up everywhere, and we don't want that there, and I don't think this is a bad outcome, so I'm happy to move it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Busby. Councillor Willinga.
Yes, thank you. The place of worship is an allowed use in the residential zone in our current town planning scheme. And so the main reason why we might refuse it would be on the amenity grounds. However, the applicant has put in a traffic management plan and the acoustic plan that the officers have said is compliant. And the extra condition we put on there to ensure that all the vegetation might be protected when they extend their car park. So in my view, if we were to refuse this and they go to the tribunal, then we could lose a ground that we've tried to make this work as best we can for all of the residents that have asked for different things in their submissions. And so I think that is a problem that we may end up getting a worse outcome. So I don't think that's a good idea. Also, if these people then decided they didn't want to be here, I assume someone else would come and want to use the site. It is a site that is being for sale that can be used, and to suggest that we can't use it or no one should use it because we're worried about what they're going to use it for, it's a bit of a slippery slope, I think. It is a site with a big building, and someone is going to want to use that big building eventually. So, yeah, if the residents wanted something else there, maybe they should have used what was there before. I mean, I think that's been said.
Thank you, Councillor Willinga. Councillor Stoneham.
Hi, I'm opposing the recommendation primarily because I do believe that amenity is a planning consideration and can be used as grounds for refusal. I understand how much the applicants have done and how much work they've put in to be compliant, and I'd like to just reiterate that this has got nothing to do with being anti-church or anti-religion, but this is a planning matter, and I believe that the views of the community regarding their amenity and their planning concerns are valid, and I need to support my community views. Just as we're celebrating Alcoa, listening to community values and making a decision accordingly, then maybe we should be doing the same. But I do understand we're constrained by the planning framework under which we are required to make decisions. However, I am still opposing this recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor Stoneham. Do we have anyone speak for the recommendation? Anyone speak against?
Yes, I would really like to just reiterate largely what my ward mate just said. Likewise, you know, I have no problem with religion. I'm not religious myself, but have absolutely no problem. It's not about that. It's about, you know, I think the reason that people chose to settle in Roleystone, the village feel that locality has, the amenity that it currently has. You know, we clearly state in here that the city shall have regard to the compatibility of proposed uses with the existing use. I think clearly this is incompatible with, you know, with the existing use and the existing amenity of the locality. We heard very, very loud and clearly from our community, 395 submissions, of which 383 were objections, largely around amenity. We also talk in here about that the proposed land use is considered, our officers say it's considered consistent because, with objectives B and C, because one of which is to provide for a range of associated compatible activities and developments which will assist in the creation of efficient and sustainable residential neighbourhoods. I would argue that 120 people driving up to Roleystone is not sustainable and efficient. They are not locals, so they will all be driving up there. That is not sustainable or efficient. It also says to facilitate and encourage high quality design, built form. Well, this is an existing building, so we're not facilitating that at all. And finally, I also had concerns that we have a number of fantastic activities that currently happen in our village that may be put in jeopardy by us approving this, thus, you know, further, I guess, impacting the amenity and the reason so many people choose to live in that lovely location.
Thank you, Councillor Mosey. Is there anyone to speak for the motion? Councillor Keogh.
Thank you, Mayor. I do share a lot of the concerns that have been mentioned by my fellow councillors tonight. I feel that in many respects our hands are somewhat tied in that we, of course, need to make this decision on planning planning grounds. I do share a number of sentiments, though, as just previously mentioned by Councillor Mosey, but I do feel that, unfortunately, we will, or I suspect that it's not enough for us to oppose, or for me personally at least, to oppose this recommendation. And I would also like to flag that perhaps in the future we could reflect upon on council as our town planning scheme zoned as to where these can be built or approved in the future. But unfortunately, I will be, as much as I'd like to, be supportive of looking at ways in which we could perhaps reconsider this. I will be supporting this motion because I feel that, as we can see from the officer's recommendations and the way in which the applicant has sought to address all of those concerns, that we should approve this current recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor Keogh. Is there anyone to speak against the recommendation? Anyone to speak for? Just before I let you wrap up, Councillor Busby, I just might make a comment that I understand that we are making a decision that might seem like we're not listening to the community. However, I would advise the community that we have read their concerns and placed conditions upon the development that address the concerns. So the number of parking bays, the protection of the trees, all of the things that we have conditioned, and we do have conditions going right away up to P. So there are quite a lot of conditions, and those conditions are the way of dealing with amenity concerns. So a lot of the concerns that were mentioned were surrounding amenity, and I believe that the applicant has agreed under these circumstances to do the best that they can to address the concerns of the community, and I would be lending my support to the current recommendation as printed in front of us. So with that, I would like to hand back to Councillor Busby to wrap up.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. You covered a good few points that I was going to say. We've had many developments over the years where we've had to fight tooth and nail for the people asking for the development to do what we'd like them to do, or to do the right thing, to protect the trees, to, you know, vegetation, to do, like we heard, willing to put different doors in to help with the noise and stuff. It's very rarely that we actually get people who are looking to do things actually want to go to that trouble. I did make a note that it's been 2.5 years. This building's been vacant, and from what I've not heard boo from anyone else who wants to buy it. No one else wants to use it. No one else wants to do anything with it. No one put their hands up to buy it and say, hey, we'll use it as a community centre, we'll use it as a this, or we'll use it as that. You know, would we support it if it was going to be a childcare centre and, you know, have just as many cars and people going in it? But that'd be okay because it's for the community, but the chances are people are coming from outside. You know, and what I have read a fair bit, whether we like it or not, is because I followed that page because my son lives up there, and it was interesting that as I'm reading a lot of the comments, you know, there are comments that are fairly neutral, but a lot of the comments don't come up with another recommendation or another idea. They just say, we don't need another religious organisation up here. So it is obvious that there is a bent against, you know, religious organisations, not whether it's Christian or non-Christian or whatever, but it was pretty obvious in the Facebook page. And I did notice on point M in the recommendation, it's really important that people understand that if anyone breaks what's been put forward in this recommendation, there's a $500 upfront fine, there's up to a $25,000 a day fine, you know, up to $200,000 if they end up being charged. So if they break the rules, not that I think they would, but if they did, you know, there's plenty of avenues for us to hold them accountable, and we do that all the time. Sustainability, I'd have to disagree a little bit with Councillor Mosey on that, because, you know, we've got a cricket club that brings lots of people, and it's fantastic. But half the people who come to the cricket club aren't from Roleystone. They come from all areas to play up there. And we got the markets. The markets are fantastic, and there's a lot of Roleystone people there, but guess what? Half the stalls come from outside of Roleystone, and I don't know what the percentage is, but I guarantee a good part of our visitors are coming from outside of the area, and they're driving up there, and there's lots of cars and there's lots of people. You know, so I'm not convinced that it's going to cause any sustainability issues with what the statement we made. And also, it's not 120 people, it's, you know, 120 people potentially in total, and a lot of that will be families. You know, so, you know, that could be one car or 5 people, mum and dad and a couple of kids, and 3 kids. And so it's not going to be 120 cars. And as a council, you covered it pretty well, Madam Mayor, that we've done a really good job to try and get the best for this. But just so our residents who may be watching this online or read it, we fight very hard as a council to stand for things that we don't think we need or are, especially servos, service station in the wrong place or the right place, or a bottle shop in the right place or the wrong place. We've stood very strongly for things that we don't really get a chance to stop, but we really do stand up to say we don't think that's appropriate. Our team have been really good at saying no to it. We voted as a council to say no to it. A lot of times we lose, but when it comes to the city, I believe we've always done the right thing. We've tried our hardest to do the right thing, and I don't think voting against this would be doing the right thing. I think there could be some reputational damage there for us if our officers said yes, it ticks all the boxes, and we're saying no, but we can't really give a good reason to say no, and we can't. So that's why, Madam Mayor, I'm really strongly supporting this, and I ask my fellow councillors to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Busby. I will put the current recommendation to the meeting. All those in favour? Thank you. All those opposed? Thank you, and that motion is passed. We move on to page 66, 1.3, Development Application, Pindari Restoration House, Lot 41, 61 Nelson Street, Bedfordale. And the recommendation comes on page 76. Page 77, 2.1, Final Adoption, Amendment number 128, Town Planning Scheme number 4, Short-Term Rental Accommodation. And their recommendation comes on page 81. Page 82, 2.2, Proposed Amendment number 129 to TPS number 4, Proposed Modification to Expiration Period of North Forestdale Contribution Plan number 3. And the recommendation comes on page 87. Page 88, 3.1, Appointment of Councillors to Occasional Advisory Groups, reference working groups and external organisations. The recommendation coming on page 93. Sorry, on page 91. Now we on page 92, we have a confidential item 3.2, naming of new pavilion at Morgan Park, Armidale. So we do have a confidential attachment. Councillors, would anyone like to discuss that attachment? Do we need to go behind closed doors? Yeah, nobody's making any moves, so could I? Nope, we'll just move on. So the recommendation comes on page 93 that Council adopt the recommendation as detailed in the confidential report. And we have councillors' items on page 94. Is the Chair prepared to move all those items which have not already been dealt with?
So moved.
Thank you, Chair. Is there anyone opposed? No, thank you, that's carried. Takes us through to the Corporate Services Committee meeting. Is the Chair prepared to move receipt of the minutes of the Corporate Services Committee meeting?
Yes, I would like to move those, subject to any corrections, of which I have none, because I wasn't there.
Thank you. Is there anyone opposed? No one's opposed. Thank you, that's carried. 1.1, list of accounts paid for September 2025. And Councillor Hetherington, you're declaring interest.
Mayor, I would like to declare a financial interest on item 1.1 on the basis that the monthly payment listing includes a community grant payment to my place of employment, dated 17th of the 9th, 25, and I will vacate the room as such.
Thank you very much. Councillor Hetherington has declared a financial interest in this matter, so we'll leave the chamber. Thank you. You shut the door. Could I have a mover for this item then, please? Thank you. Councillor Peter, is there anyone opposed? If no one's opposed, thank you. That's carried, and Councillor Hetherington could be invited back in. Councillor Hetherington, that item was passed without amendment. Page 102, 1.2, Statement of Financial Activity for September 2025, with the recommendation coming on page 107. An absolute majority is required. So, Chair, are you prepared to move this item?
So, Mayor. So moved, Mayor.
Thank you. I will ask if there is anyone opposed. If no one is opposed, thank you. That's carried, and an absolute majority has been achieved. Page 108, 2.1, lease to Indara Infrastructure Proprietary Limited Mobile Phone Tower, Optus, 55, Lot 91, Owen Road, Kelmscott. So we have a confidential attachment to this report as well, or to this cover page. Does anyone need to refer to that confidential report? If not, we will go to page 109, where the recommendation is that the council adopt the recommendation. We will now go to 110, 2.2, consideration of tenure options for Part 1, Lot 1, part of Lot 1, Jarrah Road, Roleystone. And this is the confidential cover report. Councillor Keogh.
Thank you, Mayor. I would just like to disclose a non-financial interest in regards to this matter. So regards to this matter 2.2, I disclose that I have an association with the tenant, with DFES, being a member of the Roleystone Volunteer Fire Brigade. As a consequence, there may be a perception that my impartiality on the matter may be affected, and I'd like to declare that I set aside this association and will consider the matter on its merits and vote accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Keogh. We have the recommendation on page 111. Does anyone need to refer to the confidential attachment? Yep. Councillor Busby? Yes? Okay. So you're moving that we go behind closed doors then?
Well, I'm happy to move it to further in the agenda where we
yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. I'm happy to do that. Thank you. Okay, so we'll set that one aside. 2.3 on page 112, maintenance proposal for public realm areas, Metronet Byford Rail Extension, confidential cover report. Does anyone need to refer to this one? The confidential cover report? Confidential attachment? If not, we can deal with that now with the recommendation on page 113. Page 114, 2.4, RFQ 3425, collection and processing of recyclable material. And this is the cover report, the cover to a confidential report. Does anyone need to refer to the confidential report? If not, we'll deal with it now then, and the recommendation is on page 115. Okay, aside from the confidential matter, Chair, are you prepared to move all items apart from that confidential, apart from the ones that have already been dealt with?
So moved.
Thank you very much. So Chair has moved. Is there anyone opposed? No one's opposed. Thank you. That's carried. That takes us through to the Chief Executive Officer's report of the 24th of November 2025. Could I ask that someone move receipt of that report? Thank you. Councillor Peter has moved receipt. Is there anyone opposed? Thank you, that's carried. First item is 1.1 Councillors' Information Bulletin, issue number 1825, and the recommendation is on the bottom of page 119. Can I have a mover for that recommendation, please? Councillor Stoneham, thank you. Is there anyone opposed? No, thank you, that's carried. The next item is on page 120, 1.2, 2025 Performance Review of the Chief Executive Officer. There is a confidential report attached for consideration. Does anyone need to refer to that confidential report?
Obviously, Mayor, I'll declare an interest in this matter as it relates to my performance review, and I'm happy to leave the room.
Okay, thank you. Okay, councillors, I'll ask again feel free to leave, people, if you want to. Thank you, everyone. Could I ask if anyone would like to refer to the confidential attachment to this report?
I'm happy to move it.
Move
Yeah, the recommendation.
the recommendation. What we might do is wait. We do have a councillor missing, so what I'm going to do is we're not behind closed doors at the moment, but the CEO has, closed the door because she's declared an interest, so she's left the room. So we have a councillor who's left for a comfort break, so we're going to wait for her to come back. All right, I'm happy for you to move. We've got a majority here, so so you're moving the recommendation on page 121. That's correct. Thank you. Is there anyone opposed? No one opposed. Thank you. That's carried, and we can let the Chief Executive Officer know to come back in. Chief Executive Officer, I'll just let you know that that recommendation was passed. Councillors, we'll move back to the beginning of the agenda and go to, where are we? We are up to motions of which previous notice have been given, and there isn't any. Urgent business approved by the person presiding or by decision, there isn't any. Matters for referral to standing committees without discussion. Do we have any matters for referral to standing committees? Councillor Stoneham.
I'd like to refer to Development Services a review of the allowable uses in residential areas and zoning, please.
Thank you.
And and I'd like to review to Community Services the lease and licensing policy with a view to putting in a list of essential community services.
Okay, you don't need to explain it now, but you just refer. Thank you.
Okay.
That detail can go into your referral item. Thank you. And then, so are there any further matters for referral to anywhere? standing committees? If not, we'll go on. That takes us to matters referring confidential consideration. We have one item in there already which we've dealt with. However, we do have one that's outstanding from corporate services. So could I ask that somebody takes us behind closed doors, please? Councillor Stoneham, thank you. And we will just wait for the doors to be closed and us to turn off the live streaming. Oh, and we do have a member. Been informed that the live stream is back on. Councillor Stoneham.
I would like to move the motion on the confidential attachment, please.
Thank you. So you're moving the motion and recommending that Council adopt the recommendation detailed in the confidential report. Is there anyone opposed? No one opposed. Thank you. That's carried. Okay, back to the beginning, and I think we might have done it. We got to the end. Closure. Thank you, councillors. Brings us to closure at 8:39 p.m. Thank you very much for your attendance and your respectful debate tonight. Thank you very much.